The benefits of local food, obviously, are the transparent ones. Health. It's healthier, no preservatives.
Food that hasn't traveled as far to get from California, say, to the grocery store is going to be more nutritious for people. It's going to taste better.
Everything from, alfalfa honey to beef that is produced in your area, the animals that are suited to your climate. It's a healthier choice. There's not so much pesticides, anything like that within that area.
I feel like there are so many benefits to local food. The soil and pretty much everything around you knows what you need in your body.
I think that's an underlooked aspect of a healthy lifestyle, is eating from your own environment that you grow your food in.
In a small town like Taos, I think it's very important for the economy.
I think it has the direct effect of putting the money that you would otherwise spend on food into your neighbors' pockets.
Food is the foundation for every economy. You don't have any of the other jobs in an economy if we don't have a really strong food economy.
I mean, it's important because it is what sustains our local farmers and ranchers, which is a huge part of our cultural heritage here in New Mexico. And so without a local food economy, that piece of culture falls apart.
One of the most essential things about being in a community is having the relationship to somebody who's fulfilling that basic need of yours.
It shows, I guess, how food sovereign we are, how independent we are. It's just nice to know that we don't have to be dependent on, major food companies and farms, and we know where our food is coming from.
If you're growing food on your own property, you're basically taking care of your own self. Doing it as a lifestyle, you get to feed yourself and your family and friends. But if you're going to do it for a living, you need to scale it up, and that's where some of the challenges come.
There's quite a few challenges in local food market. One is production has to stay up. When you're talking about northern New Mexico, southern Colorado, anywhere that has substantial winter, we get a shorter growing season.
What immediately comes to mind are prices. A lot of people don't shop for local food because of the price that comes with it.
Obviously, we want to make sure that any food that is produced and distributed is done so ethically and safely. That means that there are some federal regulations that need to be followed when it comes to distributing that food in local food markets.
Our food system has been nationalized and globalized in such a way that it can be really hard for local producers to compete with larger industrial producers around the world.
I think one of the most important ways to make local food viable for the community is to make it financially beneficial to producers. They can't be losing money on food that they're producing or farming. We need to identify what the barriers are that are making those processes expensive for them.
Making it viable would mean that we're reserving land in our community for the production of food, again, whether it's raising animals on pasture or planting orchards, maintaining orchards, planting other vegetables, harvesting it, having all the sorts of infrastructure in place.
Agriculture in itself and local food is disappearing. Why? Because we don't have another generation ready to come up and start doing this stuff. The average rancher right now is minimum 60 years of age. We need more people in agriculture.
How we can educate people on the importance of a local food system is through community events like this. Being able to hold educational ventures in different areas and making them a part of everything. So if you've got a fiesta going on, offer a couple of workshops. I think hands-on is very important for young people and people of all ages.
I feel like if I had known about local food and just growing or really anything to do with food and food systems in general when I was younger, I think that would have been helpful.
There are opportunities out there. There's advantages that the youth have nowadays through FSA or NRCS or any of the USDA programs to start you out on the right path. We need to utilize those, and we also need to educate more people about these programs to get them qualified in this.
I think one of the best ways you can educate people about the local food system is probably feeding them with local food, bringing people to local farms, farm tours, educating them on how the food that they eat locally is actually produced.
A lot of farmers today start by just growing a couple things in their backyard and expanding from there. We have been growing crops for tens of thousands of years. We have been co-creating human society and plant societies that have evolved together. And so it's in us. You can grow vegetables too. We are really good in Taos at creating and providing educational opportunities for people who want to raise their own food.